Yes, this is At the Track, covering the sport of kings. Coming up this week, heavy favourites off the board in the main events at Jamaica's Caymanas Park. A stakes win in Indianapolis for the US Virgin Islands combination of jockey Ajhari Williams for trainer Gerald James. Added money wins too at Canada's Assiniboia Downs for TNT jock Sven, Balroop and Barbadian Antonio Whitehall. And an exciting Coral Eclipse Stakes at Sandown Park in England. Our opening story from Jamaica. And signs with the reopening of the track at Caymanas Park Thursday morning for exercise gallops that a standoff that has shut down racing for this weekend could be heading in the direction of a possible settlement. Trainers, owners and grooms rejecting this week what they describe as an unfairly inadequate increase in purse payouts by promoters Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited. The track had been shut down late Tuesday and Saturday Sunday racing this weekend cancelled after owners and trainers withdrew nominations for those race meets. Last racing we saw at Caymanas was the weekend. Saturday's Knutsford Park Cup feature had 7 starters with a 5-horse Burlap the favourite under champion jockey Dane Dawkins for trainer Richie Azan. There's the field for the 6 furlong sprint. Good support for the number 1 horse Burning Valor at 4-1. Pretty Caroline the 4 horse at 3-1. Burlap is the even money choice, and number 6 Geolithic the 5-2 second favourite. Ace commentator Bran Rickman picks them up, leaving the far turn.
Loyal Action has now taken charge on the rail. Burlap in hot pursuit. Geolithic now is urged to get closer as they lead the 7/16. The Pretty Caroline just in front of Digital Light. Burning Valor now begins to come at them. And last of all remains Easy Peasy as they're about to leave the 5/16 and come into the lane. A Loyal Action and Burlap up front. These two in a duel for it as they turn for home. Loyal Action just the leader, drifting down toward the rail. A Burlap in the red and the yellow racing out wide of horses, but it is a Loyal Action on the run to the furlong pole who continues to hold them off. Ken Terrific, Tevin have a 3-timer and take the Knutsford Park Cup, and Loyal Action is beginning to draw right away from them. A 16th to run. Doesn't seem as if there'll be any catching this Loyal Action. An impressive and smart win in the Knutsford Park Cup. Maybe 7 or more. Burning Valor is second.
Wasn't much of a race, was it? Tevin Foster completing a 3-timer, his first since a mid-January triple when he posted a double for Baba Nunes and one for Philip Fiani. Jason DaCosta won the last 2 Knutsford Park Cup races with Billy Wiz and Buzz City Light, but he didn't have a starter here, and it was no stopping trainer Paul Swaby's Loyal Action, owned by Solid Golden Farms Limited and bred by Usain Bolt's coach Glenn Mills, winning here at 6-1 odds by 8 lengths over Burning Valor, 1 minute 14 4/5 for the 6 furlong sprint. Sunday's main event was a restricted overnight allowance 10th race, the weekend's richest at 1.14 million Jamaican dollars, with last year's Derby runner-up Brinks the 1-2 favourite, although winless from 3 starts so far this year. Kevin Burnside has a stretch call with champion jockey Dawkins aboard Power Ranking in the hunt with a wall of horses.
They're at the top of the lane, and this is a stampede on the outside. Just the leader, that is Alexa's Lodge, but here comes Power Ranking coming in the middle, also coming on. That is Champion Bubbler. Power Ranking now assumes the inside rail. Power Ranking, but also coming on. That's Green Gold Rush. It's Power Ranking in front of Green Gold Rush, really rushing on the inside. Power Ranking, Green Gold Rush has now assumed the lead. It's Green Gold Rush over Power Ranking. Then comes Champion Bubbler.
Apprentice Jawara Stedman with one of 2 wins on the afternoon, finding the decisive rail run in the narrow victory for the PJP Racing Club's Green Gold Rush, trained by Dalton Sergiu. Green Gold Rush by 3/4 of a length at 9-1 odds for the 6-year-old gelding's 5th lifetime win. Power Ranking Brave in second at 19-1. The 1-2 favourite brings 12th at the finish. The 6.5 furlong trip covered in 1:21 4/5. Let's head to the USA now. At the Track has never featured Horseshoe Indianapolis racetrack, previously Indiana Downs, but we will now for an added money win for the US Virgin Islands combination of jockey Ajhari Williams and trainer Gerald James. The Mary Holman George Memorial for US $100,000, a competitive lineup here, going 8.5 furlongs, and from near the back of the field, Williams and his mount Soul of an Angel are about to get some racing room now on the outside for the winning run.
Here comes Take a Stand. Heartache Constitution now switched out from behind a wall of horses. Jungle Juice 5-bit has dropped back. It's All About Action also dropping back. Moving up Chiquita Mosca, and here comes Soul of an Angel, and she's rattling home too. It's It's Soul of an Angel. Raindrops on Roses take a stand with Ajhari Williams, Soul of an Angel.
From St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands, that's where NBA great Tim Duncan is from. Ajhari Williams on his first ride at Indianapolis Horseshoe this year and immediately a winner in the Mary Holman George Stakes. Soul of an Angel at 9-1 odds in a one-length win over the 25-1 shot Raindrops on Roses, clocking 144.81 for the win for trainer Gerald James, who, like his winning rider, is from the U.S. Virgin Islands. To Canada's Assiniboia Downs now, where Barbadian Antonio Whitehall is leading rider, and 9 of the top 10 riders currently are from the Caribbean. Whitehall and TNT's Sven Balroop making headlines earlier this week with stakes wins. Here's the favourite Spittin' Kitten with Balroop aboard in Monday's $50,000 Jack Hardy Stakes. The filly already with 2 added money wins so far this season at Winnipeg, both with Balroop aboard. Gate to wire here, Spittin' Kitten kept going further and further away in deep stretch for the big win by 10 1/4 lengths. Second win in a row for a TNT jock in the Jack Hardy Stakes. Stanley Chady won this race last year. Balroop on the 9-5 favourite Spittin' Kitten, 132.84 the winning time for 7.5 furlongs. In Tuesday night's Hazelwright Stakes, Whitehall aboard the 5-2 bet Mechanic Susie repelled 2 other Barbadian riders for the win. In the middle here, after first collaring Ronaldo Cumberbatch's front-running mount, Cussin' Cat on the inside, resisting the determined late outside bid by Demario Bino aboard the 8-5 favourite Russian Pearl to score by a head on the vigorous left-hand whipping. For her first stakes win, Mechanic Susie by a head at 5-2 odds under Assiniboia Downs jockey's leader Whitehall over Russian Pearl, clocking 112.36 for the Hazelwright 6-furlong sprint. I can tell you that there was another Caribbean Stakes win at Assiniboia Downs on Wednesday night through the former TNT champion jockey Ronald Alley. Finally, let's switch sides of the Atlantic now to Britain, where there were only 4 horses in the Coral Eclipse Stakes at Sandown Park, but it was a contest ending in another show for Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore. Moore driving the 3-year-old Cole Paddington to the front, but as they head toward the 8th bowl, the brilliant filly Emily Upjohn goes in chase under William Buick.
All prevail in the Coral Eclipse. Paddington leads by a length. Emily Upjohn is trying to bridge the gap, clawing in the leader. It's 3/4 of a length. Paddington is maintaining the gallop from Emily Upjohn, who is still trying, but it's the youngster. Paddington won the Coral Eclipse.
A record 7 Coral Eclipse wins this for trainer Aidan O'Brien, who has well over 100 Group 1 wins with jockey Moore. Paddington, as the 8-11 favourite, repels Emily Upjohn's Spirited Challenge to score by a half length, clocking 205.16 for the 12-furlong run. The Coast, 6th win in a row. Our statistical update now before we go. Since our last show in the past week, a whopping 77 wins for Caribbean racing men in the USA and Canada. Among them, the Barbadian Sappy Joseph Jr. with a Sunday double at Gulfstream Park in Florida, where he is the leading trainer. The Jamaican 54-year-old jockey Trevor Simpson had a stakes win at Grand Prairie. Jamaican Andrew Ramjeet's son, Andre Ramjeet, with 5 wins at Charlestown in West Virginia, where the Barbadian Rashawn Latchman won twice. 4 weekend wins at Central Mile in Canada for the Jamaican Dane Nelson, who is the leading rider there. And there was a Tuesday triple at Fort Erie for the Barbadian Chris Husbands, leading rider at Fort Erie at the moment. We've been at the track covering top stories and exciting races in the sport of kings. Check us out again next week.